So there are several benefits actually of confessing venial sins. Number one is it makes you more aware of some of the smaller things. If you wait until you can commit a mortal sin to go to confession, you're going to eventually commit one. If you're confessing the venial sins, you're more aware of sin, and you're even aware of the smaller ones, which is going to help you to keep from the bigger ones. Plus, the grace that you get from confession is not just the sanctifying grace, but the actual graces that are there to help you to overcome the sins. So then if you're confessing the venial sins, then the grace is there to help you to overcome those particular sins, plus also the growth in humility, that if we're willing to confess even the small things that we're doing, then it helps us with the humility, which in turn helps us with the charity to be able to help us to love more. The more that we love God, the more we are aware of even the smaller sins. And so it continues to help us then not only to love more, but to get rid of even the sins and the imperfections that stand between us and God. Well, first of all, if your intention is to confess everything that you're aware of and you honestly forget something, that is forgiven because you intended to confess it. And if you would have remembered, you would have confessed it. If you intentionally forget something, then nothing is forgiven if it's a mortal sin. If it's a venial sin, wasn't necessary to confess it anyway. But in confession, all your mortal sins, again, by all mortal sins, I don't mean for your whole life, I mean all the mortal sins since your last confession. If you honestly forget one, then just bring it up to the priest next time when you go to confession. Let him know you forgot this last time. But it doesn't put you back into the state of sin just because you remembered it. It was forgiven, but you still want to confess it because otherwise, the devil's going to try and use that against you. So when you bring it to confession, he doesn't have it to use against you anymore. So first of all, for a person who hasn't been there for a long time, oftentimes fear is what's in the way. And the devil is going to throw everything at you. So number one, you don't need to be afraid. The priest is not there to yell at you. The priest is not there to judge you. The priest is not there to condemn you. The priest is there to forgive you. And if it's been a long time, I can tell you, you will make the priest's day. Now that doesn't mean, oh, well, it'll make his day even more if I wait longer, so I'll just wait longer. No. But that will be the highlight of his day, is if somebody comes back that has been away for a long time. So again, you don't need to worry about that. Again, to understand that when the sin is forgiven, God also in his mercy takes it out of the mind of the priest. Remember, we can't talk about any of the sins that somebody confesses, or we will be excommunicated. At the moment it comes out of our mouth, we're excommunicated. So God in his mercy takes it away so that we're not even remembering all these things. Otherwise, you can't talk about it and you had all that stuff in there, it would be horrible. Turn to the Lord, look to his mercy, because that's what confession is all about. It's about the mercy of God and receiving his mercy. So again, he doesn't want anybody condemned. He wants people forgiven. There's nothing that's too big for God to forgive. And if we really stop and think about it, if we think, oh, my sins are too big, if you really stop and think about it, I don't think it's why anybody would do this, but it's pure arrogance. I can do something that's bigger than God. Well, God is infinite, so you can't. But, and Saint Therese of Lisieux said, think of the worst sin that you can possibly even imagine. She said, compared to the ocean of God's mercy, the worst sin you can imagine is less than a drop of water in that ocean of mercy. So if you've got big sins on your soul, if you've been away for a long time, whatever it may be, don't allow that to scare you or to keep you away. Because like I said, the priest isn't there to yell at you or condemn you. He's there to forgive you. The best you can, try to be at peace. Just pray and trust in the Lord and ask him for his grace, and he will help you through it.
Thank you for watching the Leaflet Missal YouTube channel. If you liked what you saw and want to see more, please subscribe below. Remember that Leaflet Missal also has a store of tens of thousands of Catholic products, gifts, devotionals, and more for you to shop. You can shop in person in our St. Paul store or online at the link below. Thank you.